what happens if we're in the middle of a search and a client receives a CV of a candidate that they want to interview? What do we do in that situation?
Yeah. And that happens, right? That happens a lot because you and I both know, and anybody that's listening is speccing CVs out on a regular basis and sending CVs to clients that they think might be of interest. So a client receiving a CV from another agency or anywhere else for that matter can happen really frequently. One of the important things at the front end of any project, regardless of whether it's a search or any kind of project, is setting it up for success at the beginning. And this is a part of that. So it's so important when we set the search up to set the parameters and the expectations to minimize as much as possible the chances of this causing a problem. So our clients' fear usually when we discuss this is that they might miss out on great candidates if they don't accept those CVs that might be sent in. But it's important that we talk to them about the fact that it's going to happen probably and explain to them and reassure them that we're going to be covering the entire market. That's the whole purpose of the search. That's why they're paying us to execute it thoroughly and rigorously. And it's important that this is dealt with in the right way. So we encourage all of our clients to inform and make sure they've informed any agencies that they have worked with or are working with and or their internal team that they are executing a search against this and we're carrying out retained search and therefore aren't accepting CVs from other sources from this hire. Any CVs or any candidates need to be routed through to us as their partner. However, having said that, even if you do this um, religiously and make sure at the end of at the beginning of every project you're doing this, sometimes they still do get a random CV or a random candidate sent to them by an agent they don't know and they haven't engaged with and haven't been able to have that conversation. So in this situation, we inform the client that if it's legitimate, and by that I mean a candidate isn't just bait and it is actually a real candidate, firstly, we're likely to already be in contact with them because of the rigor of the process we're applying. But if we're not, then that candidate is to be routed through us to assess the feasibility of that candidate and assess the candidate alongside everybody else. But what's really important is that they must first inform that's the source of that CV or candidate that they aren't accepting unsolicited CVs, so they won't be liable for a fee. So it makes sure that we cover the market in its entirety. We reassure the client that no candidates are going to be missed out on, but we don't expose the client to any potential duplicate fees. And also what we want to avoid is any duplication of activity. We don't want any third party or internal teams approaching the same talent pool as us at the same time, because that duplication of approach to candidates downgrades the position in the eyes of potential candidates, which of course makes it harder for us to make a good impression on. So we can't have our efforts diluted.